Every time you change the building, you add stuff, has happened over the years, add on. There were reasons why, I'm told, maybe funds came available, so let's add on some more. And we got some more funds next year, so let's add on some more. If every time you do that, you're going to affect the entire layout of electrical and plumbing. Every single time, and air conditioning. Every time you go break rooms, the AC system would have to be redesigned. The audit report picked up anomalies and errors and gaps in the in meeting fire regulations.
$60,000 was paid for pumping water out of a foundation of this facility. Which foundation of which buildings?
Boy, I'm not sure I can't tell you that. I mean, that's buried works. So in this business, when it's buried, it's gone.
$60,000 gone. Moving forward, you spent $800,000 on an audit. The hospital site is shut. There's no work going on. The people in the south are hemorrhaging. The nurses have no idea when they're going to go back to their original home.
People want to make it an issue that we've spent $800,000 for an audit. But we've spent $118 million on a facility that should not have cost us $50 million. And nobody wants to be held accountable for the failings. And I'm telling you, both governments have to take their share of blame for the mess that St. Jude has found itself in. Because there are no approved drawings for the building, we had to get the architect or the consulting firm that did the technical audit to go in and do as-built drawings. So draw the whole building as it is, to submit it to DCA so that DCA understands what is there presently. Then reconfigure it to meet the specifications of a hospital. So where you have the corridors of 1 meter and you need the 2 meters, you need to break down the wall. You have wards that you cannot bring in a stretcher into the ward. You have wards where there's a column in the middle, and for you to move one bed, you have to move all the other beds. We are working on a project to try and get 70 beds into a hospital that should be 115 beds. And we are having a lot of difficulty even getting 70 beds in there. We may have to go down to 60 beds. There were 3 operating theaters identified. Only one meets the specification requirements of an operating theater in terms of square footage. The other 2, we have to combine it together to try and make one. We have an area for emergency. You can go and see the door. The ambulance cannot get in there. The space is so small. Where you have to enter with the people is where the persons attending to them is sitting. So we have to build a whole new configuration for the emergency section of the hospital. This is what it is. Without the technical audit, none of this information would be available. And all we would do is finish the nonsense that started out as the hospital. And I refuse. I will take my blows from everybody. But at the end of the day, if I will deliver a project for St. Lucia, I want to deliver a project that I can be proud of. Once we start construction work, I'm giving ourselves 6 months to finish the construction work.
I hear you. So I hear you, Mr. Joseph, but this does not sound realistic. Wow. I want you to understand that. Because the same words that you're using now, we've heard these words with conviction from Dr. Anthony. We've heard these words with conviction in the House of Assembly from Stephenson King. We've heard them all the time from Alvina Reynolds about moving in dates and so forth and so forth. Now we understand the clear plan from you. We have not decided what it is going to cost, how the government is going to get this money. But there is a 6-month time frame? No. Come on, Mr. Joseph.
No. You need to understand what I'm saying in the context. If construction work starts in September, then we will finish construction 6 months from September. I did not say we will open the hospital 6 months from September. There's a difference between being able to complete the construction process and being able to open the hospital. The part that I am responsible for is the part of the construction. Urgency of St. Jude, I expect to run free shifts there of 24 hours. So I know the work is not easy, but the contractors who are going to come to work, they have to understand that they will run free shifts, 24 hours a day.
How much is it going to cost to complete this hospital?
We do not have the final price because we do not have the final drawings. In terms of the budget allocations, there's $19 million allocated for this phase of the project. I have been in discussions with the Prime Minister that the 19 million will not be sufficient for us to complete the hospital. So he's already making provisions so that whatever shortfall of revenue we would have would be available as soon as it is needed so that the construction process can be completed.
The St. Jude reconstruction project can rightly be described as a mess of Herculean proportions. A project originally intended to commence as the reconstruction of a surgical wing mutated into a reconstruction project that spun $118 million out of control. The outcome was a fragmented, poorly planned and executed project which the Ministry of Planning willfully turned a blind eye to, allowing it to spiral exponentially out of control in the form of intent, design, cost, and safety. The question is, who or what was ultimately responsible for this disaster?
The entire management of the project was probably something that was not managed properly.
Were you satisfied with the way Halcro was handling the management of this project?
Certainly. Certainly.
Project management, and I'm not saying the project manager, let me be very careful, project management, which is the whole mix, was out of control.
Were you satisfied with the work of Mandish Singh and Shanta King in the management of this project?
I was disappointed because of the delays. There's nobody who got affected by the delays more than I did. It was my constituency. And the truth of the matter was that I wanted to get out of the stadium as much as possible. But the reality of these things, Dale, is simply this, that you can't always get what you want as much as you want the pace to be quick.
Yes, but the question was really, were you satisfied with the management of this project under Shanta King and Mandish Singh?
I'm not going to make a judgment of that based on the delays and so on. What I'm saying is that I certainly was very unhappy that the construction was delayed so much. Although I understand some of the challenges that they would have had, especially with the financing challenges.
Dr. Anthony, I don't even understand. Why would you run away from a question like this?
I'm not running, no. I'm
these
not
are
running away from the question at all.
These are the two people responsible for the project. Under you. And for 4 years, they're giving you incorrect dates.
I am not in the business.
And Mandish.
I'm not in the business of causing injury to the reputation of professional persons. I'm not in that. I'm not going to take that route. If you wish to cast judgment,
are you satisfied or are you not satisfied? That was the question.
No, my simple answer was that I was disappointed that we were not able to complete the hospital to deliver it to the people of the South, to the people of the country. But I'm not in the business of injuring people's reputations.
Why is this project in such a mess?
Politics. Share politics. Nothing else. Politics, bad management.
There are persons who contributed significantly to the mess that we are in.
Like whom?
I would say the project manager and the consultant. If you ask me to pick two persons to hold responsible for this project, because they were being paid hefty sums of money. And I want to believe that when we go into these open-ended projects, the longer the projects go, the more these people get a salary. Why should they have a vested interest in ending the project?